Gordon, a powerful winter blast of snow and ice swept across much of the country this weekend from the Midwest to New England. The dangerous storm killing at least 9 people, knocking out electricity and delaying Christmas travel plans. Our Caitlin Burke has more.
From Maine to Michigan, hundreds of thousands of people are without power today after what's being called the worst ice storm to hit the region since 1998.
Just the ice going against each other, it sounds like a train going by.
I need gas and I can't get into my gas tank. It's frozen. My car is completely frozen.
It could be days before all the power's restored, which means families are worried they could be spending Christmas in the dark. Many travelers are worried about making it home for Christmas at all. Hundreds of flights have been canceled and thousands delayed as the massive storm system works its way across the country. Some parts of the country are experiencing heavy rain instead of snow and ice. In Ohio, an entire retirement home had to be evacuated because of flooding. Firefighters rescuing residents by raft.
It had got up to my walk that leads into my door.
I grabbed my grandmother, her dog, and my great cousin.
Meanwhile, for much of the East Coast, the weather's making very different headlines. Highs reaching the 70s and 80s only 2 days before Christmas.
December, this time of year, you never get to have a short sleeve day, and we're out here enjoying it. It's just great, beautiful.
Doesn't feel like Christmas to a point, but it's great for the golfers.
But those warm temperatures won't stick around. Today, they're expected to plunge 20 to 40 degrees from the southwest up to the northeast. Caitlin Burke, CBN News.
Tonight is a key deadline to sign up for Obamacare, but the new year could bring a big case of sticker shock when that health care coverage begins. Counselors say many first-time buyers are choosing the cheapest policies, but they come with the highest deductibles, and that means buyers are responsible for most of the initial cost of care. It's a significant problem, so significant Democratic Senator Joe Manchin addressed it in weekend interviews.
At the end of the day, if it's so much more expensive than what we anticipated and if the coverage is not as good as what we've had, you've got a complete meltdown at that time. So this transitional year gives you a chance to adjust the products to the market and to see if the market will absorb and buy the product.
Meanwhile, the administration has announced another last-minute attempt to fix the Obamacare with a temporary hardship exemption. Now people whose plans have been canceled under the law have a chance to purchase a basic catastrophic plan and avoid the law's tax penalties. The Wall Street Journal says this latest exemption proves Obamacare is hurting Americans. The paper states it's an admission that rate shock is real and the mandate drives up costs well into hardship territory. Fan outrage has forced a national restaurant chain to reverse its decision to pull Duck Dynasty merchandise from its store shelves. Less than 48 hours after Cracker Barrel removed products featuring Duck Dynasty commander Phil Robertson, they're back on the shelves. Phone calls, email, and social media backlash from Cracker Barrel customers forced the reversal. The company released a statement saying, "When we made the decision to remove and evaluate certain Duck Dynasty items, we offended many of our loyal customers. Our intent was to avoid offending, but that's just what we've done. You flat out told us we were wrong. We listened." The A&E network suspended Phil Robertson after he called homosexuality a sin in an interview with GQ magazine. The network says it didn't want to disrespect its gay employees. On Fox News Sunday, former Republican presidential candidate Mike Huckabee says a double standard is at work.
Well, because I think it's come to a point in our culture where political correctness has made it so that if you want to take a point of view that is traditional, that holds to steadfast, old-fashioned, biblical, Christian values, which are also, by the way, values of traditional Judaism and even Islam, then somehow you're supposed to just shut up and keep that to yourself. But if you want to advocate for same-sex marriage, we're supposed to be very tolerant. I'm tolerant of people who have a position on that issue that is contrary to mine, but I'm not tolerant of the intolerance.
The Robertson family says it can't see going forward with the show without its patriarch. A federal judge has granted relief to almost 200 evangelical ministries struggling under the Obamacare abortion coverage mandate. Their cases are still proceeding through the courts, but the ruling comes just before a January deadline that would have forced the ministries to abandon their beliefs about the sanctity of life or face crippling fines. The lawsuit includes religious organizations that provide health care coverage benefits through the Southern Baptist Convention's Guidestone financial resources. The Beckett Fund for Religious Liberty calls it a huge win for religious freedom. CBN's Orphans Promise helped to fund this year's Day of Prayer for Orphans in Ukraine, uniting millions of believers from more than 20,000 churches across the nation. The event included church services in different cities. Government officials and clergy came together with the common goals to give each orphan an opportunity to be part of a family and to know the love of God. Orphans Promise also helped to distribute Bibles to more than 6,000 orphans. And you can find out more about what CBN is doing around the world by logging on to cbn.com/international.